A San Diego family is questioning the safety of child-sized shopping carts at Lazy Acres Natural Market. They say their son's finger was badly injured after one fell over during a shopping trip. The boy's mother tells Team 10 investigator Adam Recruzen she wants to make sure the carts are removed so no other kids get hurt. And we do want to warn you, some of the images you're about to see are graphic.
It's a sound that sends shivers down a parent's spine. The sound of a child screaming in pain.
It was awful. It was really scary.
This is Heidi Pringle. That shriek of terror came from her then 6-year-old son, Quinn.
He had seen his finger and he kept asking me if it was going to fall off.
Let's back up for a second and explain how Heidi says this came about. Back in 2018, Heidi and her 2 kids went shopping at Lazy Acres Natural Market in the Mission Hills area. It was their normal grocery store. Heidi says she let her son Quinn use a kid-sized shopping cart, a cart similar to something like this.
Sometimes he'd put stuff in himself or I would, yeah.
A few minutes into the grocery trip, Heidi says she heard a loud bang. She looked over and Quinn was on the ground screaming.
I get emotional. He was really strong, but you know, it would go in waves that he would cry and scream and ask if his finger was going to fall off, and I just tried my best to keep him calm.
The family is now suing the grocery store and the company that made the cart. According to a recent court filing defending the initial lawsuit, Quinn had pushed his weight up on top of the cart. The filing says the kitty cart tipped over with Quinn's right hand sliding to the right side and down the kitty cart where the flagpole is clamped to the kitty cart. It says Quinn remembers his right middle finger being hurt at the flagpole and that Quinn suffered a serious slicing injury to his right middle finger. Lazy Acres couldn't comment on the lawsuit, but in court filings, they're asking the case be dismissed. They describe something much different. They say these surveillance camera images show Quinn spun the cart in a circular motion while jumping up onto its handlebar and lifting his feet off the floor. The court filing says when doing so, Quinn lost his balance and both he and the cart fell to the floor. The store claims the impact pinned his finger and there were no sharp edges on the flagpole.
They gave him a dangerous cart. They gave him a dangerous toy to use.
Allison Warden is the family's attorney. She says the store failed to keep the child-sized shopping cart in a reasonably safe manner, failed to inspect the child-sized shopping carts, and failed to warn customers of the potential dangers and guard against them. The lawsuit points to claims of sharp metal brackets and edges without warnings or safety precautions.
We're not just talking about a scratch or a cut. We're talking about a child that's going to have permanent damage in his finger because of an unsafe toy that Lazy Acres provided to his mother.
Warden says despite Heidi asking the carts be removed from use after the accident, the store didn't pull them until a month later when she called as Heidi's attorney.
I wanted them to remove the carts so that it didn't happen to anyone else.
In a court filing, attorneys for Lazy Acres say prior to the incident, there had been no reports or complaints of any defects or other persons being injured by any shopping cart, including the children's carts at the store at any time. The court filing claims there have been no incidents of anyone being injured by one of the shopping carts at its stores in the prior 15 years. ABC 10 News called the Pegs Company, which made the carts and sold them to Lazy Acres. The person who answered the phone says she was told to say no comment. In court documents, the Pegs Company has also denied any wrongdoing. ABC 10 News went to both Lazy Acres locations in Mission Hills and Encinitas. We didn't see any child-sized carts in Mission Hills, but did see the carts at the Encinitas store, and at least one of them was being used. Lazy Acres confirmed the Mission Hills location no longer has the child-sized carts and that Encinitas does currently use them.
Was he scared?
He was terrified, yeah. So was I.
Heidi says the doctors were able to operate and repair Quinn's finger, but not without another frightening experience. The 6-year-old had to be put under with ketamine.
There was a therapist holding his neck to make sure he didn't stop breathing.
Heidi says Quinn still has tingling in his finger, numbness and pain. She says it's hard to watch her once outgoing son, now at times withdrawn.
It's been a lot.
Adam Recruzen, ABC 10 News.
That lawsuit asks for money and medical expenses, physical pain, mental suffering, and emotional distress. A trial is scheduled for February of next year.